And now, to present the Chairman's Year in Review, join me in welcoming in the 2005 Chairman of the Board, Executive Vice President of Governmental Relations for Port San Antonio, Juan Antonio Flores.
Buenas noches. Gracias, muy amable. Buenas noches a todos. Thank you and welcome. Mayor Ron, thank you. Querido amigo, estimado cónsul Rubén Minuti y tu querida señora Cristi, gracias por estar aquí con nosotros. Nos honra mucho y agradecemos mucho todo el apoyo que siempre nos brindan. Councilwoman, City Manager Eric Walsh, Dr. Adriana Rocha Garcia, Madam Chair, my board chair at Port San Antonio, Margaret Wilson Analia, all of our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. This chamber's history parallels the story of San Antonio and its relationship to Texas and Mexico. At its founding, this chamber sought to help new Americans find their place. Today, the San Antonio Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is, let me be very clear, a chamber for all of San Antonio, while continuing to ensure that small business and entrepreneurship has a voice. So, let's be proud of the many contributions we have made as a city and as individuals. This chamber is only as strong as each of us is successful and as each of us contributes to the greater good. And like you, my commitment to the greater good begins with family. And I'm blessed to be married to an amazing friend and partner, Marisa, Your Honor. Thank you for your unwavering support and for occasionally ruling in my favor. We have a beautiful little boy, 6-year-old Mateo, my later in life blessing, and 2 grown kids, Natalie in Austin and Samuel in San Diego, California, both the University of Texas Longhorns, Hook 'em Horns. Family is everything, and this chamber is a family we should all be proud of. Now, just a little personal story, and I'm going to relate it back to the role and the work of this chamber. My maternal family for generations straddled both sides of the Rio Bravo, Rio Grande, before it was anything other than a river along which las villas del norte were settled. I was born and raised in Laredo to a father from Laredo in the house, a father from Morelia, Michoacan, and a mother born in Nuevo Laredo, a U.S. citizen, as my grandmother had been born in Hebronville, Texas. I'm a proud 5th-generation Texan, American by birth y tejano por la gracia de Dios. In fact, according to historical accounts, my great-great-grandfather Pedro sold Richard King his first head of cattle. Mi abuelo was a generous man who didn't mind lending a hand to a newcomer to Texas. My dad was wicked smart and a true self-starter. He volunteered to fight in World War II. I'm not sure he was even a U.S. citizen yet when he did that. He came home from the war and became active in the community. He was an elections precinct judge for decades. He was a scoutmaster. He did a lot of things. Proud American was an understatement when it came to Dad. He eventually started his own business, import-export freight forwarding in Laredo, did great, and as a family, we lived the American dream. Then in 1982, Mexico had a currency crisis, and the peso was devalued. One thing led to another, and quite dramatically, everyone around us lost almost everything. And like many others along the border at the time, Dad had to close his business. This was a formative experience. It was tough for me. I was getting ready to go to college, and 2 roommates of mine from the Tom Contreras and Steve Yarral with the Bank of San Antonio, I know you're here. You know, I learned something very quickly. A thriving business depends on a thriving community, local relationships, and in our case, international commerce. The US and Mexico are better integrated today, much better integrated. We have safeguards against these kinds of currency calamities. And San Antonio thrives today from this relationship in terms of advanced manufacturing, financial services, higher education, healthcare, tourism, you name it. So my message is this, and I want to be clear. Our North American economies are interdependent and integrated more than ever. An isolationist and protectionist view will not serve us well as a city or as a nation. The US-Mexico-Canada trade agreement is up for review by all three countries next year, and this Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is going to be a leading advocate, a leading voice to protect and strengthen North American integration on behalf of all of you all. Let's now look to the future. This chamber is honing a vision for our future as a city. It's our theme this year. We're looking to the horizon with high hopes for progress. We have tremendous opportunities. We have some challenges. A first important step is to get us all on the same sheet of music as to what sort of city do we aspire to be into the future. San Antonio has a long history as a place of innovation. Let's lean into that history and strategize to be the place where the modernization, hear me clearly, the modernization of key industries will happen here in San Antonio. And I'll offer these as examples of key industries: defense, biosciences, tech and cyber, advanced manufacturing, financial services, tourism, arts and culture. There are others, but if you look at the data, that's the meat and bones of our economy here. Let us be a world-class city, the go-to city for advanced manufacturing, technology, and defense. And let's understand how all of these sectors interconnect. They do not stand alone, and that's an important thing for all of us to understand. The defense industrial base of Military City USA and Cyber City USA touches all of these other sectors. And I want to point out to you, it is a $55 billion economic impact statewide from Joint Base San Antonio and all of its activities, the biggest joint base operation anywhere in the world. We are home to Air Force's cyber, the most important component of the U.S. Cyber Command. And this is a shameless plug, but I'm going to do it. We are going to build a new world-class campus for Air Force's cyber at Port San Antonio. This is a generational opportunity. It represents thousands of jobs and billions of dollars in investment. We have UTSA. I know our friends from UTSA are here. The premier university in the country in cybersecurity. Because of this incredible ecosystem we have built, the governor and the Texas legislature chose to base the newly created Texas Cyber Command here in San Antonio. We deserve, for ourselves, a round of applause for that happening. We are just getting started growing San Antonio as the most vital cluster of cybersecurity and intelligence assets outside of Washington, D.C. We are home to military medicine, and our friends at Velocity, Texas, are doing amazing, amazing things at the intersection of technology and military medicine. In advanced manufacturing, Toyota, an incredible corporate citizen, and they lead a growing and phenomenal automotive cluster that includes women and Latino suppliers like Rosa Santana and her family, and the famed compadres, the Herrera family, the Reyes family, the Guerras. Thank you, all of you, for everything that you do for San Antonio and for this chamber. We are a UNESCO World Heritage City, people. Okay, understand this. It is a big deal. We have the largest concentration of Spanish colonial missions anywhere in North America. We have world-class art installations that we don't celebrate enough, and we have the best breakfast tacos, punto y finito, ni que se hable. I mean, come on. But we are a UNESCO city of gastronomy that is only starting to be discovered. And I know that our friends, the Hernandez family is here, Johnny and Mark and Denise and everybody, just as an example of what it means to do this and what we're growing here. San Antonio is only one of 350 cities around the world. More importantly, it's one of two in the US with this distinction as a vibrant gastronomy community with numerous traditional restaurants using indigenous ingredients in traditional cooking. So, as a Chamber of Commerce, we're going to be focusing on events and programming, specializing and focusing to lean into these different incredible aspects of our city and these industry sectors. We will be the leading voice telling a beautiful story about this city. We will tell the world that San Antonio is destined to great things. Now, thank you. a little bit about the challenges. This is not a policy lecture, it's a celebration, but just some things to touch on quickly. Let's continue to invest in education and workforce development, and I want to say let's be proud of the incredible impact that our Core for STEM program that this Hispanic Chamber founded, Eddie Aldrete, I know you're here in the room, providing thousands of kids every year experiences in STEM learning. We need to continue to support Ready to Work, and Mayor, thank you for how you've leaned into that to make sure that it works well. And this organization and others, we have to be good partners, and let's ensure that we have the right educational institutions such as Alamo Colleges, the best, I want to echo what Ron said, the best community college system in the country. Let's work with all of them and ensure that employers inform the programming. We're going to be a watchdog as a chamber, but more importantly, we're going to be a supportive partner for success. To achieve our workforce needs, we need quality childcare and working adjacent to our military communities and what they need. This is a growing and dire need. And I'm going to shout out and congratulate and thank Texas A&M University San Antonio on the launch of their EduCare program and facilities. They're making major investment to address this. Affordable housing, water and power resources, quality infrastructure, all of this needs to be addressed for us to succeed as a city. And I'm going to wrap it up and talk about downtown, okay? As a Chamber of Commerce, as a business community, we believe that a vibrant downtown is a key amenity to any world-class city. And our 5-time world champion San Antonio Spurs deserve a world-class home in that downtown. And we're going to advocate as a chamber for a Project Marvel that delivers on this in a way that is equitable, that's right for the taxpayers, and this chamber is going to ensure, and this is going to be very important to us, to all the leadership in the room, I want to say, we're going to make sure that small and historically underutilized businesses are going to have a seat at the table for the development of that project. That means all of you in this room. To close, I want to say that as your board chair, I have worked closely with our board. I want to thank all of you and the staff to prioritize strong corporate governance and financial health for this Chamber of Commerce so that we have a strong path forward. I could not be prouder to have Luis Rodriguez as our CEO, our president and CEO of this Chamber of Commerce. Luis is the right person at the right time. Now we're ready to roll. So together with all of you, we can create a vision for our future for San Antonio to be recognized as the great world-class city that it is. Thank you all for being here.